everyone, and welcome back to the A to B podcast, your number one source for military entertainment and entrepreneurship. Guys, today, like always, I am joined by my co-host, Barry El Toro Boom!
Hey!
What up, Barry? How you doing, brother?
Muy bueno.
Muy bueno. Guys, like
That's
always.
Spanish, everybody.
Muy bueno, sí, El Toro. Ella people
Hold on.
Ya tú sabes.
Hold on now, Jack. Okay. There's a colored fella on the podcast right now.
Hello.
And I speak zero
Guys,
Spanish. I want to tell you.
Today we're doing what was looking like it's going to be our third co-host for the podcast.
Yes.
Anthony Glenn. What's up, Tony?
What's up, baby?
How you
ready
doing?
to go.
You doing good?
Winning in 20, man.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Well, today we're going to bring you guys an interesting podcast, man, because, we've been speaking with Tony. We record the podcast in his building.
Tony works here.
Yeah, so Tony works here. So he passes around every single time, like, over his shoulder, like.
Yeah, we're trying to record, and he'd be out there.
Tony, listen, Tony, just come in, man. Just have a seat and let's have a conversation. Because, dude, we talked for 3 hours off camera, and then all of a sudden he's like, like right now, we just sat down and we just had a conversation. He's like, dude, we just need to get this on the podcast, okay?
Let's do it.
So, Tony, I want to talk to you because a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people, you've been out since 2016.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you had a very successful career.
Somewhat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, regardless if you consider that you had a very successful career or not, you had a very successful transition outside of the military because you were already doing real estate.
100%.
You had your real estate company, your mortgage company. So you're a very successful entrepreneur outside of the military. So regardless of what you did for 20 plus years in the military, you still did very well outside of the military.
Yes, but not without challenge, because I want to tell you, man, one thing that I found out is there's a lot of people that don't want you doing stuff outside of the Corps.
When you're in?
When you're in. They're not having it. I mean, they just don't like it, man. And I've been knowing Barry for 20 years.
Yeah.
Right? And he's known that I've been doing real estate for a long time. It's just a lot of people that are haters, bro. Straight up. You doing something outside the Corps that is to elevate yourself, people just don't like it.
Yeah. Well, it's either they don't believe in it, or if there's even any perception that it could be possibly taken away from what you're doing inside the Marine Corps, they're immediately not going to be on board with it, and they're going to let you know that, But when'd you join the Marine Corps, dude?
I joined the Marine Corps in 1996.
Damn.
Paris Island.
Whoa, guys.
PI, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he was a drill instructor.
Recruits,
as you are very
get
well
up. I'm freaking upset again. It's morning time. It's 9 a.m.
Actually, what they were doing, it was like, get your ass up.
Yeah.
Right? They was putting hands on you. Listen,
Anthony.
I want to tell you, I got choked, and I'm alligating on my drill sergeant right now.
Well,
all right. But yeah, they when I went to 3rd Battalion India Company, they called it Thumping Third for a reason, because we were away from everything at Paris Island, and we got trained hard.
Okay.
And we lost everything.
You're from Atlanta, Georgia.
I'm from ATL.
You went to high school with Ludacris.
Yeah. And his cousin.
And Jermaine Dupri is actually your little nephew.
Yeah. His cousin Budacris. Hit's Budacris.
Stupid, dog.
Jerome Budacris.
You know what I mean? And little Bow Wow. His little cuz.
But I did. But I got stationed back in Atlanta after my first duty station.
There's a logistics base there, right?
Yeah, so I was at Hawaii first.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's a picture out there with
You
me
fit in perfect there.
with a shell necklace
Where,
on.
in Hawaii?
In Hawaii, hell, you just walking around. What the hell are you looking at?
I want to tell you, man, they were
What the
looking
hell
at
were
me
you
like,
looking at, dude?
your skin is so almondy.
All right. Listen.
Hell, I'm from here. I don't know what you're looking at me like that for.
I drank the
Son of a
Kool-Aid.
bitch. I'm a surfer too, damn it.
Hey, come on, man, brothers is not surfing.
Why not?
Come on, dog.
Why are you looking at
Seriously,
me like that?
Yeah.
Recruits want to go to medical when it came to. I don't care how
here's
strong
the thing.
they are.
I've been to your
I'm so
house.
sick.
Tony, I've been to your house. You have an amazing, beautiful home.
Thank you.
We should probably do the podcast there. But something I've never seen you is in the deep end of your pool. Is there a specific reason for that?
Well, I actually can swim. Okay.
Okay.
You know, there's not too many that can swim.
Then why can't you
Not
serve?
too many humans.
But I mean, not too many, melanated fellas. I'm keeping it. Look, can we keep it real? Listen,
That's all we do.
why isn't it? Why do brothers have problems with swim qual, dog? You saw it at the depot.
What?
Come on, don't be afraid to say it. I'm calling you out, dog. Don't be afraid to say it.
Dog,
Barry,
we had
don't
that
say
one
it. That's a setup.
We had one kid, this guy, man. I'm a gangster disciple from Chicago.
Chicago, straight up.
Dog, we get this fool on the 10-foot tower. Arm around the railing. And me and Anthony out there.
Get in the pool.
Oh, dog. We were able to get his arm off the railing, and he went in the water. He went in the water and screamed the whole way.
And to the bottom of the pool. And he was like
Yeah.
straight up muscular. Listen, I don't know what it is, but I mean, they don't have pools in the hood, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Listen, I'm keeping it a
Swimming is not a priority,
No,
is what you're saying.
No.
Okay,
not
so
at
there you
all.
go.
But we kick butt on the pull-ups and the run.
I'm gonna
true.
clip
That
this.
is true, though.
I'm gonna clip this, and what I want to know is like,
Yeah.
how many black people out there can actually swim? I'm gonna put a poll
Right.
in my Instagram, and I'll be like, if you're black, can you swim? I'll put yes or no. It's a simple question. Like, I just want to know the statistics out there, the real statistics out there. Like, how many colored people can actually swim
Don't
versus
say
not
colored,
swim?
Don't say colored, brother. That's not the right word to use.
What is? I'm colored too. I'm just a different shade of. I'm just a different shade of color.
But here's the thing: who all can swim without your feet touching the bottom? That's the requirement. Your feet. Okay, don't be like I can swim in 2 feet of water.
Now we got to shout out my boy Rich. He was like this, blowing
blow his blouse up.
Yeah. Oh, because y'all went to drill instructor school together.
Yeah, shout out to my dog Rich, man.
He's retired too now.
Yeah, he's
Now we've done a couple of
Dude, Rich
episodes
is
in the
crazy.
past, so I'm gonna clip them. It's a lie. I'm not gonna clip them, but you guys can look. You guys can look up here, or you guys can look at our previous episodes, and you guys can see the other episodes that we've done with Tony. But Tony, one of the things is I just learned this. You were a drill instructor in 2004.
Hello, that's 20 years ago.
Yeah, so literally 21 years ago. Okay, and Barry was already there, so you guys were drill instructors together.
Yes.
I think this is the first episode that we do that you and Barry are actually together.
No, we did one. We did one over there, but I was being all serious.
Yeah, he was being all serious. Yeah, he was still being...
Feels so good.
Now, what was DI school like for you though? Well, that's a long time ago. You got guys going now, and they're like,
Chilling.
Hey, students, you guys, man, this is serious stuff.
Come on, guys, please run. But
You
don't
got to
have
be a
to.
DI. Okay, low, high, your left, right,
Low, righty,
low.
lefty, righty.
What was
left.
it like for you though?
I'm telling you, man. DI school, I had. Shout out to Wickham. I had Wickham. Terrence, shout out to you, dog.
I love you.
How come he doesn't
hope
come
you
on the
can see this.
podcast? Where's he at?
I want him to, and I'm his biggest fan. I don't have a Terrence Wickham
You talk
tattoo.
about him like almost every podcast.
Because I love the guy. I'm
Dude's
serious.
a goat.
I'm not kidding.
He's
Okay.
the goat, dog.
Not kidding.
So
Where's he at now?
Well, he's local.
yeah.
Oh, well, then he should definitely come on the podcast.
So let me tell you my first day of I try to check in early.
Yeah.
And I went straight
To
in
DI school?
to First Sergeant Anderson. Remember that grunt, the guy that had all of the
Oh yeah. Recon. He was a
Recon.
recon guy. Anderton.
I went up into Anderton's office and I had one of my homeboys. Listen, we drove a Mirage from Georgia, okay, with some rims on it, with a trailer on it, all the way out here, and we could only
A
go
Mitsubishi Mirage.
yeah, a Mitsubishi Mirage. And you remember that guy that got in trouble for selling the coins?
No.
Okay, so there was
An India company? Oh yeah.
there was a guy that got relieved for selling.
But that was way down the line though.
right. So him and I came out here to MCRD together, and I tried to check in early, thinking that I was Mr. Cool Guy, and got blasted for checking in early. They told me my uniform was trash, and then they put me on duty.
What rank were you?
I was a sergeant, and my A duty went UA.
Yeah. And you had duties in the logbook for going UA. They would log it in.
Yeah,
And we would read it as students, and it was like terrifying.
yeah,
It was like, what?
yeah.
Well, explain, because I'm lost.
Dude, you had students there that were like, I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. Yeah.
I'm bouncing. I'm checking out.
imagine-
NDI school.
So imagine
Yes.
you check into recruiting school and then at night, people are like, I'm not about that life, and they just bounce.
Yeah.
So we had
Because
students
you'd be
go,
on duty, right? So you'd be on duty downstairs, and upstairs, the instructors are screaming at you.
Yeah, the whole time. On
They're
duty.
screaming at you, dude.
They'll call the phone and ask you why the buffer's not running.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the buffer.
You remember that? dog?
Because you have these like, I don't know what it is. They're
Cobblestone.
tiles of some kind.
Yeah, it's like clay tiles.
Yeah.
But they have to look like glass.
And they did.
They did.
Because you were just in there, you know, just all night, dog. And you're like, oh my gosh.
And they're calling like every 15 minutes. So you know how you have duty, you're supposed to like swap out, get some rest. No.
Nope.
You were working the whole night. And then the next day you're doing formation and then PT after that.
Well, it sucked because you had to have the counts ready for PT.
Yes.
That was the stressful part.
Accountability is like when you have it's a card and you have to like have it a certain type of way, and basically it shows like who's light duty, who's present and who's not present, and where they're at, and it has to be like all stenciled in and shit.
Yeah, it was a count card.
Yep.
Count card. And you had to have the count card, and it was never right.
Okay, so what's your craziest story? Because I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna share some of those stories. So what is like your craziest story that from that time back in DI school?
Me checking in the Charlie company, because there was this drill instructor, right, from California, right, that made me walk 3 miles with my pack on with no flashlight my first day on campus.
Okay, can you describe said drill instructor a little bit better?
I want to tell you, he's a handsome white guy. Okay, his name is Double B. They call him 2 B's. That stands for Barry Bull.
Okay,
Right. So when
that's an accurate description. Okay.
So when I checked in, I got a phone call, right? And he's like, "Hey dog, where you at?" Hey dog is this thing. Hey dog, where you at? And I'm like, "I'm checking in. What do you mean?" Sir. He was like, "I'm not a sir, I'm a sergeant." He's like, "Get your pack on, get all of your stuff up here, and start walking up the to the upper shelf." And that's like 3 miles away in the dark, in the woods, right?
Yeah, because in San Diego, you know, when the recruits they do, and this time that's different now. At this time, they did first phase down south, okay, for a month basically. And then the next month, we would go up north, which is from MCRD San Diego
Camp Pendleton.
to Camp Pendleton. For everybody out there that's watching it and doesn't know, we would go to Camp Pendleton. We would do, you know, marksmanship training, all the field training, gas chamber, and the crucible. Okay, so Anthony checks in, and it's crucible time. So we are 3 to 4 miles away on what we call the upper shelf, because it's just what it sounds like. You're like way up on this hilltop.
It's
you know?
a mountain, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and he gets delivered by the duty to the damn squad bay, and there's nobody there.
Right. And the first sergeant's like, "Hey, just hang out down here." Because they're going to come down in the morning. It's already late. It's like 10. They got to be up at like, what, 3 o'clock? 3 a.m. to get ready for the Crucible hike. And that's the 10-mile hike before the kids get the Eagle Globe and Anchor ceremony, right? So imagine never being on Camp Pendleton before in your life, and then you're walking in the wilderness, right? I'm hearing caw in the woods. I'm like, and he's saying, "Oh, I'm gonna send a truck down there to get you." The truck never came. But the truck never came. I get up there. All of the drill instructors are in the bathroom. That's where all of the hats are sleeping at. And you know, I check in.
We call it the $1 million head.
Yeah, they call it $1 million head. So I'm there and I'm thinking, okay, I'm about to get all snuggled up. You know, I'm unrolling my sleeping bag and my ISO mat to get my, you know, my REM sleep. And then he makes me go out with the recruits and do fire watch.
And at this time, the recruits don't know who the fuck you are, because you are like brand new.
I'm brand new. I'm a brand new drill instructor. You know, I'm brand new. It's my first day.
And let me ask you this, because I hear this a lot. What is the expectation when a drill instructor says, "Get on the boys"?
Oh man.
Oh, man.
What's the expectation?
Yeah.
You guys had the same response. So
in
go ahead,
San
Barry.
Diego, we didn't say boys a lot. We always just said recruits.
Yes.
It
Okay,
was
get
always recruits. Like, who's on the recruits?
Okay.
And that basically just meant you should be out there. like Magilla Gorilla, just kicking stress, throwing stress all over the place. And yeah, it was like,
So basically, like, being nice to the recruits, mentoring them and leading them to the best of your ability, and with the good trust and confidence of training the future warriors of the Marine Corps.
Yeah. I remember my DI school check-in. I was a couple of classes before Anthony.
Yeah.
And which on the depot's a big deal. I remember actually being on the 11th MEU with Mark McManus, who ended up going to India Company. And so we were on float, right? We both knew we wanted to be DIs. We both knew that we wanted to be San Diego, right? Mm-hmm. And he's a 46 mechanic. I was a Huey mechanic. And so we worked really closely together. We were Liberty buddies in the whole thing. Well, we get done with the deployment. We both get orders. I contacted him. Hey, dude, are you going to DI school? He goes, yeah, this is my class date. And I'm like, damn, he's a class ahead of me.
Oh, yeah, he went before you.
Well, he was 2-, and I had orders of 3-.
And McManus was squared away, dog.
Oh, dude.
He was squared away.
I've never seen a guy run the O course faster than this guy. He ran it in 50-something seconds. Like, it was crazy, dude. So I got my orders modded. We ended up being roommates. Mm-hmm. So we check into DI school. This is January, 8th of 2004, okay? And I wasn't ready for that. I was not ready because you check in and then you're in your alphas and there's some admin kid, but you're all stressed out and you don't even know who he is. And he's just sitting there like some, looking like lunch meat, just checking in, drill instructor school students. And he's like, hey, go change out of your alphas, go to your room, get in your PT gear, be back here at this time for the urinalysis. So I'm only thinking urinalysis, right? So we come back with, I think it was just sweat top and green shorts and then
that water bowl.
And the water bowl.
Let me explain what that is, though.
Yeah.
A water bowl is a 2-quart canteen that has a strap on it. Right.
Okay.
And when you are a drill instructor, you put it behind your back and you run.
You're
with
2-quart.
Yeah, it's a 2-quart canteen. It's a big one and it's kind of soft.
Yeah.
And it goes in a pack. But when you get
That's
in there,
just old school.
Yeah.
Now we have camelbacks.
That's correct.
Yeah, it's before camelbacks.
Yeah.
Right. But when you go in there, dog, let me tell you something that's funny as hell. When you go in there for the urinalysis, right? It's 900 degrees in there. They close all of the windows. You're sitting in there, right?
Well, it's 900 degrees, but I'm thinking I've done piss tests before, right? No.
No, dog.
The instructors come in there. We're talking stand up, sit down, shift left, shift right. They're throwing desks. We all go into recruit mode. We're all in recruit mode, right?
And it's Marines peeing on themselves, dog.
Dude, they're peeing on themselves. Oh, dude, 100%. Take your shoes off. Put them on. And they're counting you down 30, 29, 27, 20, 19, 54, 12, 11, 10, 9, 7, 5, 4, 3. And you're like, lock, please, first and I, whatever. You don't even know what to say, dude.
And these are Marines, dog.
These are NCOs and staff NCOs.
Yes.
I get chased back to the back table. Okay, it's by Gunnery Sergeant Hall at the time, retired Sergeant Major Brandon Hall. I love you.
Yep.
And Gunnery Sergeant Major retired Salinas at the back,
Hispanic guy.
He's issuing the bottles, and Brandon chases me into the head. He's chasing me in there. Okay, I run in there. All the water's going. It's steamy. I clearly they have been throwing cleaning products around in there. Okay, it's burning your eyes. Students are yelling. And they're banging the heater vents.
It's chaos.
Dude, and students are in there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'm like, what is going on in here, dude? And I'm literally pissing at the position of attention. And Gunny Hall is like, you might want to look at where you're pissing. And I'm like, that was the craziest piss test I ever took, and it just never slowed down
from there
the
whole time. And then what's crazy about it is that my first day when I checked in, since I came in there and try to be Mr. Cool Guy and check in early, I'm like, I'm a 300 PFT because I could run, right? So I'm thinking I'm gonna check in and I'm gonna kill it, right? So they're like, I get it was Wickham. What's the skinny guy's name? The skinny black dude's name? I can't remember. And it was a big another big dude that was there, and they were like screaming at me, "You're freaking heinous!" Hey,
Are you talking about light-skinned
Yeah,
black guy
he-
Favre, or are you talking about
No.
from Lima Company?
Lima Company.
I don't remember his. Oh,
He's like,
it's on the tip of my tongue, but I remember he was super good, dude. Super
right.
squared away.
So they're like telling me to get in, get out, get in, get out, get in, get out, report, get out. So I'm like, I'm feeling like I messed up. And they're saying, you're going to fail, you're going to fail, you're going to fail. So
Yeah.
then after that, when we got to formation, they pussy-pooed us. Push-ups,
Pull-ups, sit-up,
pull-ups, sit-ups. And this is right after
and
your
push-ups.
analysis, right?
That's what pussy poo is, for those of you guys who are wondering.
right. So
He didn't say pussy poo.
yeah. so you're on the side of the building. DI school's right here, and there's like a grassy area on the side.
Okay.
So after you do the urinalysis, they take you outside. And Wickham, after lights, which is at what, 2100?
Mm-hmm.
They like do push-ups, sit-ups, or whatever the entire night. All the way up until like almost midnight. And then they let us go home. And then I was on duty that night.
Oh man.
So
Well, and the whole thing, it's way more to it, because you're not even just doing the pull-ups, sit-ups, and push-ups. It's like, it's more games, dude. Shift left, shift right. Good, you don't open your mouths. Good, get back in the pull-up bar. Good,
Yeah.
who said
okay, but
who
what
said to mount?
happens? Okay, but time out. But what happens if you decide to mouth off? Like, let's say you be like, man,
Nobody
this
does.
is fucking
Nobody
bullshit.
does. I don't care what anybody
Yeah.
says or anybody telling. That's like saying, I'll punch one of my drill instructors.
I
Yeah,
know,
right.
know,
It'll
but
never happen.
so you guys never saw it happen.
Never.
Never.
And even as NCOs and staff NCOs, when you are faced with a squad instructor is what they're called, the DI school instructors.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have never seen a Marine like that in your life. You're like,
No,
holy
ever.
shit.
Because they're so squared away, dog. Like, they're squared away. The uniform is crisp. They're loud. You already have this this kind of intimidation for going there, because you're going to be you're going to train Marines, right?
Yeah,
So-
it's like you're getting this look behind the curtain. It's this very prestigious school, and these guys are running it, and they are the embodiment of everything that is Marine Corps. And you're like, whoa, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, now let me ask you this, man. How do you guys feel? Because both of you guys have very successful businesses outside of the Marine Corps.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that those experiences helped you to build successful businesses, or was there other things that really helped you guys to be successful?
I think that just being a Marine helped me be a better leader. of
So
people.
drill instructor, not at all.
I don't think that drill instructor enhanced my attention to detail, but I think just being a Marine helped me be, a good leader, right?
Okay.
Now, I think drill instructor obviously contributed to that, because, knowing how to subdue your power, but there's a lot of people who abuse power, right?
Sure.
So I think that, me being a good Marine, I already had some leadership principles within me, but I think that being a drill instructor just enhanced my attention to detail. But you can't
Yeah.
do that too. You can't do that when running a business, though.
Okay, now what about
facts.
that first time that you went? Were you already in real estate back then, or didn't start your companies back then?
My company, I was already invested in. I was already a real estate investor. So when I checked in, I already owned homes.
Okay.
Right. So when I got down to MCRD San Diego, I had already had multiple properties, but
Okay.
I wasn't a realtor. I didn't become a real estate professional until 2006.
Okay,
So
so was that your last year at the depot?
Yes, that was my last year. 2007 was my last year on the depot.
Oh, okay. And
Yes.
what, like, with all this chaos that you guys are talking about, because I'm pretty sure, right, that obviously you guys did that very successfully, because you guys talk about it a lot, So you guys did, being a drill instructor successfully. How were you even throughout those chaos? Because I guess that's something that people can relate even nowadays. Because I feel that it was more chaotic back then than what it is now. So
What do you
how
mean?
did you, like, chaotic as in, like,
You mean boot camp and stuff?
yeah, being on the
I
recruits
think so.
back then was more chaotic.
Yeah, I
So-
can't speak on what it's like now. I have no idea.
Yeah,
to be
but I
honest
mean,
with
think
you.
about it. Let's us knowing what we know off cameras.
I'll tell you what my interpretation of it is. I think that I'm gonna be completely honest, man.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it real. I think that the standards have been a little bit skewed in regard to how Marines are trained today. But I think that the Marine Corps is more intelligent. but
Yeah.
at the expense.
Now you're inspiring me to want to be really real.
No,
And
of the
I get
expense.
really real.
It's all veterans here, so we
check this out.
gotta.
Now, I think that as far as intelligence, Marines are smarter than we
Yeah.
are.
I agree.
Right? They do. They have eliminated a lot of the dumb stuff.
Of the stupid
but at
shit,
the
yes.
expense. Okay, at the expense of attention to detail and the core of the Marine Corps, which is, I don't know, man. The
I don't
Marine
know.
had this-
I don't know if I agree with you there. The reason why I say that is because with the attention to detail, I get it. But it's just that y'all back then, because y'all were drill instructors. Obviously, y'all super senior to me. I went to boot camp in 2009.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just that I feel that back then y'all were paying attention to stupid details that did not really enhance the operation.
Well, here's the deal.
I mean, and it's okay if we can disagree.
We were preparing people to go to war,
yeah.
and recruits were getting the shit beat out of them. Okay, in San Diego, and I'm not saying what I did, but I'm saying what maybe I heard about some stuff. Recruits are getting the
Allegedly,
ever-loving
yeah,
shit beat out
allegedly.
of them. Okay,
Yeah.
that's just the reality. And if that happens now, I don't know, and everything else like that. But I'll tell you. One
Well,
thing
we can ask the people. We can ask the people. If you
I want
were,
to say that, hold on, before we go any further, I never touched any recruits. All right, never in my life have I ever put my hands on any recruits.
okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. If you were a recruit from wartime, let's just go with wartime, from 2001 all the way up to, let's say, 2012. Let's just go with those times. 2001 to 2012. Let me know in the comments, did a drill instructor physically touch you to make a correction? If you know what I mean, okay? So, and let's have the people say it.
Well, one thing I don't like the fact that we have that we brought females out here to San Diego. I don't like that. I'm gonna tell you.
I don't like that either.
And I'm gonna tell you.
Why not?
Well, because I'm gonna tell you why. Because everybody knows it. Nobody talks about it. All the weird crap that would go on at Paris Island, man. And if you're gonna
weird what? You gotta
they
be
hooking up
specific.
with each other left and right. You got drill instructors sleeping with recruits and vice versa, and drill instructors
I've never
sleeping
heard
with
that.
Dude,
No, bro, it's big. It's big.
I've never heard
PI was on the down low, the biggest swinger base like that I ever heard of, and I ain't never been there. But dog, how many drill instructors go there heterosexual and leave in a damn same-sex relationship just right off the rip? And here. Because I'm gonna say it. Because I'm gonna say it though. Y'all are gonna be. Tell me I'm
I
wrong.
want you to tell the truth, brother.
Tell me I'm wrong though.
No, this is serious.
Okay.
No, but
y'all
yeah,
think?
I think it's your opinion.
No, it's not opinion, dog.
I don't think.
No, okay, but
Here's what I'm saying. It ain't about women. All right. So y'all are gonna come. That's not what I'm talking about. Do it in a different way. I don't think men and women should be coming into contact in that recruit
That type
training
of
environment.
No.
I don't think they should.
It's already happening, bro.
And
listen, it's already happening. I was on the tail end of females coming to MCRD San Diego, and there was already an increase of hats lingering. You got to understand that place is less than it's all males, right? So
San Diego, you're saying?
right?
Yeah, but the
So San
fleet is
Diego-
not.
I know that, but the fleet, but still, why?
The fleet's different though.
Why are we commingling something? Why are we doing something it's not even enough females? It's not even enough females to be having 2 boot camps. It was already enough. It's been going on that way for years.
Well, I get what you're saying that in the fleet, right? But the recruit training environment is super unique because as a DI man, you're very powerful.
yes,
There's a lot of power there. Okay, there's a lot of recruits can only do so much. They're not gonna whatever. And I've heard stories of you got female recruits that were like laughing, like, oh my gosh, like we all hooked up with this one DI or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like
that goes on down there a lot, bro.
And I just think that the women and the men and the DIs and the recruits should all be kept really separate. Ain't got nothing to do with I think women are weaker. I'm not saying that, guys. So y'all are going to want to come at me. That's not what I said.
Listen, let us know in the comments.
I'm gonna say this.
I'm gonna say, let us know in the comments, like, because I feel, and then I'll go to you. I feel that, bro, we are in fucking 2025.
Yeah, I get
this
you.
is going to happen.
What's going to happen?
Like the
commingling
of
why,
the boot
though?
camps.
Why do you need to do that though?
Yeah,
this is the thing.
I don't like that.
Because we're not in freaking 1921 where we got segregation. Imagine if I ask you, it's like, we're gonna separate the black people from the white people.
Okay.
Well, let's say we're back in the 60s.
But this is a lot different. You're talking about
we're talking gender.
How is it different?
Let me explain, okay? So two things that I want to address. The first thing is that how you do one thing is how you do everything. So the attention to detail has to be there. That is what makes us Marines, right?
Yeah.
The reason why you have foot lockers and everything's in alignment so you can swiftly identify when something's out of place.
Correct.
And when you stop doing that, right, the person's going to forget. If you can't see or identify, you can't have accountability on that stuff, the standard goes down, and that's how somebody gets killed. That's what we're there to train for. And the second thing, the reason why I feel like it's important to have things separate is because, bro, men and women in boot camp, there's people that are, you got to shower them. You know, people are there's people who were.
I knew you showered them.
You got to do things. You have to do things that require privacy, and I just don't think, based off of my experience.
And here's the other thing. Let's look at society, right? Okay. Now, it's a physical business, man. Okay, so when a grown man, is yelling at a young woman, okay, what if it gets physical? Even in the ways that it's authorized in recruit training. Okay, as a society, we're wired. It ain't okay for a guy to do that to a young lady. If a woman is doing it to a woman, that's different. When a guy is doing it to a guy, I'm just saying, bro. You know, and we have these societal type of things. I'm guilty of this from years ago. I saw one time I got out of my car.
I would agree with you. I would agree with you.
Yeah.
If this would be a draft. If people were getting drafted.
We ain't getting drafted, dog.
Exactly. We're not. But so that means that the females that are there are consenting to that.
And here's the other deal. Okay.
That's my thing.
But white people aren't having, sex with black people at the cyclic rate like that. But men are having sex with women at the cyclic rate, to your example of segregating whites versus blacks, men versus women. So there's a lot of dynamics there. And my only thing is I hear this daily. PI and San Diego, it tears at the fabric of the cohesion.
Yes, it does. And then plus, this is another thing too, man. And I'm going to say this, man, why are we trying to, the women don't want it. So if the women are saying that they're getting, listen, the ladies have spoken. I've interviewed multiple women that told me that they would rather have it separate for safety reasons. I don't care what you say, and I understand that the leadership is a challenge, but at the same time, I just do not feel like we should have to put women in that situation. Just like with women in infantry units. Why would you? We don't have enough men to do those jobs.
Yes, we do. That's why when
that's the question.
That's why when Master Guns.
Do we not have enough men to do those jobs?
That's why when the female Master Guns came on here, the one that she just retired, she straight up, she's like, why do you think we don't have quotas for women? We don't have quotas for women because there is no job in the military that a man cannot do. The job doesn't exist. Okay. So, women, as much as I've gotten so much hate for this, it's a nice to have. I think it's great. But what do we let women join for? And I've said this on record. I've said it on my page. It's a nice to have. And a woman was allowed to join in the first reason, to allow a man to fight. Okay. That's the whole piece of it. Okay. And people don't like to hear that because it becomes like this. I'm trying to put you down as a woman. And it's like, no.
But baby, but nobody's saying that all women need to go to combat. Or all women need to be infantry.
Sure.
What they're saying is that the ones that do want it and they pass all the qualifications, they should do it.
But because people know that the standards have been lowered. The standards have been lowered, and I want you to drop it in the comments.
The standards have never been the same for women and males.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when a woman goes through IOC, infantry officers course, or whatever. Okay, I'm not talking PFT, CFT. I get you. What I'm saying is, you're going through these courses, and what I've heard and seen over and over and over again is these instructors are being told, pass her. Get her through the course.
Bro, well, we've been hearing that, dog. We've been hearing that for a fucking, like, I've been hearing that not even with females. Because there's an attrition rate that drill instructors have, that people at the schoolhouse have, that instructors at certain schoolhouses have, right?
Sure.
And once they meet that attrition rate, people start asking questions, yes or no?
No, but here's the thing, though.
Tony,
though.
you know that's true, though.
I understand what you're saying with the attrition rate, but what we're saying is this, man. If the standard was set, if the standard to be in the infantry is this amount, this run, these amount of pull-ups,
that hasn't changed.
Yes, it has for females. It's a different standard. It's a different standard. It's not the same. I interviewed the first female a Marine.
Yeah,
that was a damn good interview.
Right.
She
straight up said, like,
they pass women. They're
go to the Winning
women.
Podcast, guys, and that interview is going to be in the Winning Podcast. Make sure you guys go over there and make sure you guys follow the Winning Podcast. That interview's over there is in the Winning Podcast. He's the host of the Winning Podcast, so make sure that you guys go over there.
And a lot of times it's off the record, but they're going to these instructors and evaluators and going, she's going to pass.
Right.
And that's a big piece that happens. And
that happens with males too, though.
I don't know.
That happens with males.
I can't speak on that.
I promise you, I've heard it. That happens with males too.
Okay, so based off of my interview with both scenarios, okay, because I interviewed the first gunner.
I got to go back to that because those were damn good.
Yeah, and the first grunt, right? So both of them specifically said that yes, women deserve to be there, and then she actually told me that the standard was not the same for males and females.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, dude, but you're looking at the very first one.
It's not popular to say that.
I'm only going based off of what I stay neutral, right? So if a lady can get in and do the exact same thing but don't lower the standard, and that's what I feel like has happened to the military, where it looks good to have a certain person in this position.
Yes.
Right? And I'm just saying it like it is. If the person doesn't qualify to be there, then they shouldn't be in the job.
That's right.
It's man,
but
woman, or whatever.
That's regardless if it's a man.
A standard.
Yeah.
You shouldn't lower the standard to allow somebody to come in that could cause lives on the battlefield.
Sure.
No matter which way that you look at
it.
Yeah.
If I put on if Barry is 250 pounds and he has a 70-pound pack, right, and ammunition, can that person carry the person off the battlefield?
Well, and to be honest, the women don't like it either.
But there's men that can't do that, dude.
We know that.
As an artillery dude,
But those
as
men
an
don't
artillery
qualify,
dude, there was dudes that were carrying 2 rounds.
Yeah.
On their back, mind you, each artillery round is 110 pounds,
which is heavy.
Which they could carry 2 rounds, while I was struggling to carry 1. That was because I was 120 pounds back then. So that round was
you needed to eat more mofongo.
I sure did.
But the standard wasn't lowered for you though.
It wasn't.
So there
that's
it is.
the point.
That's the point.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
It wasn't lower for you because you couldn't carry it.
I did that, but there's females that can also do that. And not only that, like if you say
They're the exceptions, though.
If
We
you
don't make
put that
rules based on
extreme
the
example,
exceptions.
if you put that extreme example, like a 250-pound dude with a full dude, who's the hell's gonna carry him on his back? You're gonna buddy drag him. You're gonna find a way to fucking drag that dude.
This is the thing, though. The people who did not meet the standard washed out as males, and then
I get what you're saying.
We're not saying, listen, ladies, I'm gonna be straight up. Tony Glenn is not telling you that you should not be able to be a grunt. What I'm telling y'all is that the Marine Corps as an organization should not lower the standard for anyone, male, female, transgender.
I agree with you, but
whatever.
what I would tell my daughter is, do not be a grunt. This is the best advice I can give you. Don't do it. And if you're going to do it, this is what the life of a grunt is like. And I'm going to tell you, I think you're going to regret it.
If you're a female out there, would you even want to be a grunt? Like if you're a female out there that's considering joining the military, or you have served in the military, did you ever even want it to be a infantryman or any type of combat position? Did you even consider it? Did you even qualify for it? Let us know in the comments, because that's something that I really, really want to know.
That's a good.
Well, we got a new Secretary of Defense. We got Pete Hegseth in there, and he has been taking a ton of heat on this topic. And what he said is exactly what you said. Merit-based, the standards gotta stay the same. Mm-hmm. And what's happening to a lot of leadership in the past is Because if you have all the females wash out, right, you're eventually going to get asked the question, what the hell is going on, man? You know, are you trying to not pass these women?
No,
because
I
it
can't
looks
make
bad. It looks bad when you have them all, you know. And now you got commanders and senior enlisted that are feeling that pressure. Oh, damn! You know, we gotta pass. We gotta pass some of them.
Just like if you beat them, you eat them.
I don't know, man. The
I never
ones
heard
that
I ain't never heard that before in my life.
the ones that I've met, that I've talked to, that I've seen, because I was here when you did that interview.
Yeah,
they're badasses, dude.
Dude, they are, but
listen, I'm not a female, so I can't.
That is true, though.
I don't have an opinion on that. But
I thought you were gonna say
what I am
another
gonna say
thing.
is that both of those ladies said that they were sexually harassed, bro. Both of them.
That is true.
Okay, and that's a common thing
to a high degree.
And one of them was sexually assaulted, not once but twice. So no matter what, when you're looking at a situation, if I was talking to my daughter, I would say the same thing. I would say, look, man, there's other. I understand that the physical aspect of it, you can do that.
Sure.
But why we don't have enough men to take those positions? So our responsibility as men is to protect.
The 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
So why are we getting away from that?
Here's the thing too. Like you mentioned, sexual assault, sexual harassment. Right. We're gonna have a lot of people in the comments, and they're gonna go, "Well, that's a military problem, dude." If you've never been in the infantry, if you have been in the infantry, I really want you to weigh in on this. It's a whole different ball of wax. We're talking. There's layers and levels to this game out here, and the infantry ain't nothing like it. You said it, artillery, right? It's not like when you went and you lap moved, you go over here and you were like, oh man, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, right? It's the same thing.
Let me ask you this. You have a daughter. She's a mini badass.
Yes.
Has she asked questions about the military?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. And you know the reason why she doesn't ask questions about the military?
Why?
Because I prepare my kids to make sure that they have alternative options. If I've been instilling financial literacy, my kids have been entrepreneurs since they were born, right? So, you know, and I'm going to tell y'all straight up, my opinion on college, I don't think that college is always going to be the right direction for people to go through anyway. There's a lot of people who don't have degrees that are heavy hitters.
Yeah,
right?
dude, I was surprised when Sabrina, Grant Cardone's daughter, said she's 15 and she already graduated high school.
Because the school system is designed to put you into, you know, to make you an employee. I mean, think about it. 3 years, K through 12 is 13 years plus 4 years of grad school, and 3 years of 4 years of undergrad and 3 years of grad school is 20 years. So that's a lifetime.
But okay, but hold on.
Other things.
But what if your daughter said, "Roger that, Dad, but I want to join"?
Join the Marine Corps? Then I would tell her that,
or the military in general.
To join the military, I would probably tell her to go into the Air Force or to explore the Air Force.
Why?
Because I would tell my daughter that, you know, I understand that the pride of belonging and doing something for being a Marine looks good, but you're not going to be a Marine forever. You're going to have to get out and do other things. And how marketable are you going to be after the Marine Corps?
It's so funny you say that, and people, man, they be coming at me, dog, because they're like, dude, you know. And I say, if you're a woman, and what I would tell my daughters is the same thing: Air Force, the quality of life is better. It's just, and I know y'all are gonna hate me because we got some badass Air Force folks out there, but it is a gentler, softer life, and I would want that. And I'm not trying to make any jokes out there or cut down the Air Force. I love you guys and respect everything you do. The Marine Corps, rough and tough, rootin' tootin', rock biting, war fighting, semper fi, do or die. Marines make the blood flow, blood makes the grass grow, kill, kill, kill.
Hell yeah, hoorah. But that doesn't translate to anything outside the Corps. Let me tell y'all something. Nobody gives a shit about your ribbons when you get out. Nobody cares. All they know is that you're a vet. That's it.
Yep.
And if you can't let go of being a Marine when you get out, you're going to have problems adjusting because that lifestyle is different. Your work ethic, you have to be able to code switch. I'm telling y'all, man, people are thinking they're going to be able to say, take the trash out to people and talk down to people when you get out the Corps. And people ain't trying to have that. When you look, I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
When you look on a resume and Marine is on there, the leadership, some people look at it as good, some people look at it as bad.
Well, it's the hardest for guys like us because we made it to a senior level, right? And so when you're in the military and then you're at that senior level, you have, without even thinking about it a lot of times, you have status, you have relevancy, okay? That your rank, your office, your title, your billet, it is your currency.
Yeah. All that shit goes away as soon as you pick up your Diddy 214.
And exactly.
Yeah.
And one day it's very anticlimactic. You take it off and that's it.
That's true. And nobody's going to call you. One thing that
You're not needed.
Yes. One thing that I immediately noticed is that the Marine Corps, once that round is downrange and it's out of the rifle,
Yeah.
it's on the target, man.
Yep.
Ain't no looking back. You're out, you're out. Ain't nobody calling you saying, hey, do you want to go to a ball? None of that
Yeah.
stuff,
But
right?
we joke, right? Like, man, I can't wait to get out because then my phone's not going to ring at 2 a.m. But it doesn't ring at 2 a.m. It doesn't ring at 2 p.m. And it just doesn't ring.
That's true.
Yeah.
Your value is different.
Yeah, 100%.
But getting out is great, but it's different. I always tell guys,
getting out is great if you prepare.
If you prepare,
not only like financially, because the first thing that comes into people's mind is financially. Like, how am I going to sustain my family, or how am I going to sustain myself?
Yeah.
It's also mentally, because when I got out, I was doing fine financially. You know, like I was already doing real estate.
But you had to go through some stuff though, bro. Because I remember what you were telling me is that you had to learn on your own about finances though. When did nobody tell you that? And your transition was easy because you were not interdependent on that first and 15th. You had a plan.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't have done my VA claim without you.
I appreciate that.
I wouldn't have done it without you. You broke it down to me straight up, Barney style, how we say in the Marine Corps, as a DI to like a recruit. And, you just put it in a way where as Marines, it was easily digestible. And it was like, check it out, dog. This is step one. It was the breadcrumb approach. Step one, here's step two. And this is what we're going to do. Let me know when you got step one done, and then hit me up, dog. We're going to hop on a call. Boom, 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 boom. And I didn't have that. And I know there's probably a ton of people out there that do that, but I know you as a friend, as a brother in arms and everything else like that. And so for guys that are preparing to get out, man, you like Albert said, it's not just, financially, but I always tell guys getting out is like you grew up in this house. This house is home, right? It smells like home. You walk in, you smell mom's cooking. You matured in here. You became a man in here. Mm-hmm. But then one day, you got to pack your crap and get out.
Yeah.
And something that I don't hear a lot, and it's something that I've learned after I got out. A lot of us veterans, tend to be contempt, because if you think about it, dude, like veterans make the best like CEOs, like they make because of the discipline, because of the things that they learn. But dude, like once veterans get out, they are contempt with doing either a part-time job or not doing anything at all if they set themselves up financially.
Sure.
Or they seem contempt with like getting a GS 12 position or a GS 11 position at some type of government or contractor job.
Okay with that,
and then working with that. But here's the thing though, they are not working to their full potential. There is very little veterans that truly work to their very true potential past them retiring or past them getting out.
Well, I'm going to hit Anthony again because him and Mark McManus, my drill instructor, school roommate, two guys who both told me I wanted to go work for the VA. They're like, I mean, you can go do that if you want, but that's a huge waste of talent.
Yeah. And the reason why I say that is because, I was in a convention and I was in I think it was GrowthCon last year. I was at GrowthCon last year. Dude, and the people that go to those events, they're like multi-millionaires.
Yeah.
Like the majority of them. I'm not saying all of them. They got like two classes, right? Like they got the class that's like they're trying to network, and there's the class that are doing like just to meet up with all their friends, right? Like, so, oh yeah, I'm just here to support Grant. And they're like multi-millionaire type individuals. Mm-hmm. And I was able to talk to a lady, again, multi-millionaire, is that lady that owns like 52% of all the ATMs in like all the entire United States. Like I'm telling, like this lady is like filthy rich, and you can tell that she grew up in a certain type of environment.
Right.
And she's accustomed to always wanting to do more.
I think the problem with that is that the military has a ceiling. You're kind of like around your peers when you're in the Marine Corps, and the Marine Corps is small when you really look at the big scheme of things. You don't know how small it is until you get out. When you get out, you'll see that 130, 140 strong, 140,000 strong.
Yeah.
Right? the world is so much bigger, and I kind of feel like I don't understand why people hate on upward mobility outside of the military. This is how I kind of feel like, and this is the example, and I have a question for you two gentlemen. Why do y'all believe that this A to B podcast is dope, right? You have unfiltered communication. But one thing that I notice is that there's always people that Marine Corps kick down, man. They kick down on people. People who are out of the Marine Corps kick at people, and I don't understand it.
Explain
a
what
person,
you mean.
I'll give you an example. A person gets in trouble, okay? They are talking trash. Like the staff and CO pages, the Marine Corps pages.
Oh, they love me.
Hundreds of thousands of service members, right? And you would think that this is you say that it's a brotherhood, but why would you want to hurt someone that you love? People hating on, wait, let me say this. People hating on you because you got a successful podcast. People hating on you because you're the trendsetter of social media as a senior enlisted person. Why? I don't get it. Why, if you pour your heart, blood, sweat, and tears, you run in the same lane, you run in the same pack. I do not understand how people can say that they love you and they kick down on our brothers and sisters that have went through a challenge.
You want to take that first? You want me to take that first?
Go ahead.
So the reason why I believe that happens is because goes back kind of to like my point. People realize that you are living to a potential that they could reach, but they never had the intestinal fortitude to follow. So when they see that somebody else is doing the things that they wish they could have done, or they don't see themselves capable of doing, the only human response that they can take initially before they tend to support is to throw shade on it, because it's something that they don't understand. And this happened to me. Actually very recent. He's still a very good friend of mine. He's a first sergeant right now. He reached out to me. Dude, I talked about this is like 2 days ago. He reached out to me. He was like, "Hey, brother, I just wanted to reach out to let you know that I've been looking at your stuff, and I'm super proud at everything that you are accomplishing outside of the military. I feel like shit, and I apologize to you because I know that now that you're doing things, like people are starting to notice you, I'm reaching out to you. I just want you to say that I'm sorry for that, because I've been seeing your stuff for a long time, and then now I'm showing your support." There's so many people out there that do the same exact thing. And dude, like, it takes sometimes like one person, you're going to receive support from somebody that you don't know before you receive support from somebody that you know.
Let me say something, and I'm going to say it clear. For 20 plus years, I've had haters with me doing real estate. From Miramar to MCRD to Camp Pendleton, staff and COs and officers, just being a roadblock, bro. Straight up. And I've been doing this for that long, man. Imagine what that makes you feel like when you got a SAR major try to write you a counseling sheet telling you that you can't. This was in 2008. And I know you see me, right? And I'm telling you straight up, right? I won. Okay. I wonder where you're at. I had a SAR major that pretty much told me that if I do any type of, he wrote soliciting in there because Marines was coming to me asking me questions when I was stationed at Miramar, and he did everything in his power to ruin my career. All because I was educating service members on how to become real estate investors with their VA loan.
Yeah.
Haters.
Yeah.
And this is how you know who a hater is, dude. This is how you know. They'll watch your stuff. You'll see them watching, but they won't like it.
Yeah, but I mean, not only liking. I mean, I don't think it's only about liking. I think it's about, dude, like, let's have a conversation. It's specifically with people that might tend to disagree with you. Me and Barry just had a conversation, which I respect this individual a lot, with a very prominent social media figure, because he felt some type of way about Marines that came onto our podcast with their uniforms. But you know why I respect him? I respect him because he established a line of communication with us, and we essentially talked.
He came to you.
The problem that makes you look like a hater is whenever, instead of you bringing it up to the person that you have a problem, you're talking behind that person's back.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the problem that you have. That's the problem that you're going to have. Why does it happen? I don't know. It happened to me, dude, on MCRD. It happened to me in MCRD. And here's there was an email that got sent out and aboard MCRD San Diego. I don't know if you guys knew this or not.
You got a copy of it?
No, I don't have a copy of it. They didn't say my name, but they say a retired gunnery sergeant that drives a red vehicle is trying to go around MCRD San Diego and trying to interview drill instructors in training areas. Be aware of this. And it was like, what? That could not be further away from the truth. That could not be any further away from the truth. But I was like, okay, well, I mean, whatever, dude. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, I'll be happy to sue the fuck out of those people.
Yeah.
For either I'll talk to military messy lawyer what I can sue them for. So because I know it, because if you think about it, recording. So that means that every person that's here recording, are you gonna give them the same notice that you're giving me?
Oh, not even only that, dog. I'll tell you like just some quick ones because I know Barry, you want to speak on this. I had one thing that I hate is when if you're gonna tell somebody if you're a leader and you tell somebody you're gonna do something, follow up and do what you say you're gonna do. I couldn't stand. I've had people tell me they were gonna say, "Hey, I'm gonna get you in here. I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna hook you up. You call. They go ghost. Just look me in the eye and tell me that you can't do it."
Yeah.
So
that's a big one. Oh yeah, that's a big one.
So check this out. I've had people tell me that they were gonna. Oh yeah. And what I did is I went the legal and I went everything clean to make sure that I did everything. And shout out to Wickham and Lieutenant Colonel Erickson for making sure that we got vetted to do what we do now. Because if it wasn't for them, they wouldn't have paved the way. But I had people look me in my eye and say, "Yeah, I'll get you in. I'll make sure you get hooked up." And then and then their phone go on silent. So what I did, I remember one day, I'll tell y'all this quick story. I had he was a sergeant major, right? He told me he was gonna hook me up. He's gonna get me in. I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna make sure the Marines, I'll allow you to speak to the Marines. And he was nowhere to be found. So then the battalion commander reached out to me. And this is how God works, man. The battalion commander reached out to me to invite me. And then he vetted me. And then I showed up to the unit. And then he's like, "Hey, what's up, dog?" And I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And then he's like, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "I got a class to teach." Mm-hmm. So I had to go through him. Some people are, why are y'all blocking, man? Like some people are in the way instead of just asking the question. I don't understand why people are not bridge builders, man. I don't get it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what it is. And I just had this happen with the young Marine who, and this is why I try not to get into this. I don't like to weaponize my page and stuff like that. But some of these pages that just post stuff to be funny, right? And I think it probably would have made its way out anyways, but whatever. And it was the young Marine who got interviewed at the Trump rally. Okay, this guy literally had been in the Marine Corps for, including boot camp, 4 months. Okay, so
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, and
he showed it to me.
Yeah, so what they did over at McCess, the comm school at 29 Palms, dude, the colonel and the sergeant major literally pull all I don't even know, 500 plus Marines into the auditorium, and they single this Marine out, dude. And it's like, and they don't just single them out. They put my name in there.
What?
They put my name in there, and what they told the entire...
Why though?
Because of that video I did where I helped get the PFC paid. Oh. Where I said, tell me why I got a PFC who has been 3 months since they got paid, right? Well, that went to an extremely high level, right? That got millions of views just on TikTok alone. Okay, that was getting shared everywhere. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And they you got a full bird colonel and a sergeant major who weaponized their command against me for helping a PFC, okay, and a young PFC that's in their command, okay, and so it's like.
But I'm gonna tell you, here's what happens though.
Yeah,
a lot of people, and specifically people in the military, tend to forget y'all are public servants. Like I don't think from staff sergeant on up truly understand what that really means. Like you, even though like I'm not asking you or telling you that you need to tell all the fucking like secrets that you have, all the top secret stuff that you're in charge of. But brother, sister, you are in charge of somebody's son, somebody's nephew, somebody's grandson.
Sure.
And those people are wondering what the hell is going on with their life.
Well, that's
and you owe them a response.
But here's the thing, though. I think instead of taking accountability for that situation and saying, you know what, Bull, if that was me and I dropped the ball and I was in a leadership position, I would have reached out to you, dog. I would have called you.
But the PFC, who I helped get his pay fixed, and his mom thanked me personally, and he thanked me personally, by the way, wasn't even in McSess. He was in school in Pensacola. This is a completely different command. And this colonel, and if I was a sergeant major, I'd tell the colonel, hey, sir, we're going to get up here. We're going to talk about political activities in uniform. We ain't singling nobody out. We ain't using examples of real things that just happened, especially with this young Marine who's in the command.
Let me ask you a question, though, about that situation, though. How does it make you feel? Honestly, you're honest. How does that make you feel that situation happened?
Well, it pissed me off. I haven't posted a video on it, but it makes me want to, put a picture of the colonel and the sergeant major up there and say, you weaponize your audience. Now here you go. Okay. You are on my audience now. And how does it feel, sir? Because I outrank you, sir. So salute my Instagram page, homeboy. Because you getting posted up right now. This is your Instagram NJP, mother freaker. You're putting my name in your mouth. I don't even know who you are, but now I do. You want to know why? Because Marines are in your unit. Okay, they're not mad because you singled me out. You added me to the singling out that you already did to a young PFC.
Okay,
all you had to do was get up on stage and talk about political activities. All right, and keep it professional. But you couldn't do that. Why? Because that's what narcissistic people do. They grasp at whatever control they have. I'm not going to let you on base, Anthony. I know you're trying to do a good thing and you're helping out service, but I'm going to use my position to block you.
Yeah, and I had a command.
And if you ever dealt with somebody who was narcissistic, when they run out of ways to affect your life, they freak out.
Oh yeah, and this is the big thing that I want to say. From my perspective, and since I've been hating on for so long, dog, I take it a different way. And the reason why I don't get upset about it is because I feel like I'll find a way. This is just a roadblock. You're a speed bump. You're gonna get out. Okay. And then my time will come, because that's what they want to do. They want you to react instead of responding. So I'm way more calculated, because I've been crapped on so many times by people trying to pave the way for me, that I look at a strategic option to take that as I'll give you an example. Somebody said, oh man, Tony Glenn, I don't like that guy. You know what I say? Thank you. Because I know me reacting to you, I have enough intellectual capital to not respond and to not react to you, because you want to get me outside of my body. And I'm going to give you ammunition to say, see, look what he did.
Exactly.
So the way that I look at it, the way that I look at it, I look at it a different way.
I utilize my recruiting skills.
I'm way more
I can guarantee you that I can get people to choke on their own fucking words. Mm-hmm. You know, because if somebody straight up tells me, it's like, first of all, I respect people that come up to you like and be like, dude, I don't fucking like you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
saying? Somebody to say that to me, my face too.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather people say that to my face. And like, I don't fucking like you, and I'm like, damn, dude, like, what the hell did I do to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, is your wife in my DMs or something?
Hello.
Like, what did I do to you personally? Yeah. Well, I don't like that you talk about, because I've had people like this in drill instructors specifically. I don't like that you talk about certain things about the drill field. And it's like, what things specifically? So like, well, there's some things that are best left unsaid. I'm not sharing any type of fucking national secrets. Mm-hmm. I'm not sharing any type of national secrets.
Well, the problem is when what you do doesn't line up with what I think you should do, and then I can't accept that, and then now I got a problem, then I start projecting that problem onto you, and you're like, I tell people all the time, dog, you got a problem with something I said, don't try to make it my problem. It's not mine. It's yours.
Let me tell y'all something that I want to say too. Like, listen to me clearly for those of you that are watching the podcast. You being a hater, what you're doing is just bringing attention to somebody who probably didn't even see me. Mm-hmm. So when you're hating, your light doesn't get any brighter by trying to dim somebody else's light, bro. Like all you're doing is making yourself look bad. And then,
yeah, dude, people aren't clapping you on.
Yeah, they're
not like, oh my gosh,
I'm not gonna mess with Barry because
you.
And then on the phone, like, hey, dude, can I get that insurance? Let me get that insurance policy.
Exactly, man. You know, if you don't like somebody, man, just keep it moving, right? Because what you're doing is you're showing everybody who you are. So that situation with the colonel, I'm not gonna make a video like that. You know, I'll just present what it is. Hey, what do you guys think? How should this have been handled? Right.
And let the
But this Marine has been under I'm more concerned about the Marine than myself. He's been under investigation. He don't even know what's going on. He's a PFC, man. And he really didn't know. He really didn't know that was like not okay. You know? And the way he's being treated right now is wild.
I think this is one of the main fundamentals of whenever it comes to like what you post and then what I post, right?
Sure.
It's like, bro, you go like die hard like for the Marines, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always, in the back of my head, I always go like, there is something here that caused this. So that's why I'm a little bit more cautious whenever it comes to like that type of stuff, specifically the Marine with the pay.
Sure.
Like I said, I talked to the Lieutenant Colonel. Remember I told you about, I talked to the Lieutenant Colonel, and that Lieutenant Colonel is one of his close friends is the leadership, like he's the direct leadership.
There it is.
And then he told me, he's like, hey, this is what happened. Like I don't know if you want me to say.
Go ahead.
But the Marine during his PTAT time went into my pay and he started messing with his things. And the first thing that comes into my mind is like, why is a PFC going into my pay during PTAT, like just graduated boot camp, and is messing with his things? And then it's not the fact that he's messing with his things, is that whenever he went to IPAC, whenever he made, you know, his chain of command aware that he hasn't been getting paid, they went to IPAC. And again, I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was like they went to IPAC and it's like, I was reflecting that he's getting paid. Like, you know, like we don't know what to do. And then he kept not getting paid. And that's what the issue is, right? I think that's when I was like, nah, man, like, because that's when I was in disagreement with him. I agree. It's like, listen, I agree with you that the Marines should not be going out there, and the Lieutenant Colonel, and that's what I'm saying, like you went high into the right whenever it comes to like the leadership and all that stuff. I was actually able to get in contact with that Lieutenant Colonel. It's like, sir, you actually bring a very good point. We should probably educate Marines to not go out there and fucking start messing with their MyPay shit until they hit the fleet.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's the point, though. I think the point is how long it went on. If it got to if an issue gets
true. That's true too. I agree. I agree with you.
If an issue gets outside to the mom, and then the mom has to go on a social media, influencer to get help, that is a lack of leadership. I don't care what anybody says. Mm-hmm. I don't care what anybody thinks. That situation with a young man not being able to eat, get a haircut, and do just the normal things, and they bought it.
And he had told his chain of command.
So
if it was just as simple as like I just was messing around on my MyPay, it would have been like, okay, click this back and we're solid.
Yeah, and how hard is it to write it down and then run it down to the ground? That's something that could be fixed in 48 hours.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, me personally, I take a more kind of like neutral. Like if you see my videos, specifically the last video that I did about
neutral, brother.
About the Lieutenant Colonel.
There's nothing neutral about you, dog.
More neutral than Barry, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that because that very last video that I did about the Lieutenant Commander, the lieutenant, not the Lieutenant Commander, the Lieutenant Colonel at a recon school.
Oh, you put him out there.
I put him out.
You put a picture.
Yeah, I put a picture.
But you X'd it out.
No. That was the post. I took a screenshot. I took a screenshot of the actual post.
But it looked like you X'd him, dog. I was like, damn.
It took a picture of the actual post. That's
He's
how
got his name tapes.
Straight up, dog.
That's how it was.
Nah, but it was like an X over his face. I was like, what does that mean, dog?
Yeah, that's how.
Like, is he going out?
That's how it was in the post.
Out like that.
And then that's why I took a more neutral approach. He's like, hey, listen, I just want you to know, because this person is saying this allegations. Like he's putting out this allegations. I'm going to give them a chance for them to like fix it. But if it turns out that Marines are reaching out to me and he is a piece of shit, man, y'all might want to do something about this. Like y'all might want to get ahead of this, because I'm not in the Marine Corps Times. Marine Corps Times, they think they slick. what they like to do is they like to start posting news as like after people get relieved. Unless your name is Barry Bull, and then you're fucked.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like because most of these relief things that have happened, like what happened with Sergeant Major Kettlebell, he was like long gone by the time that the fucking news came out.
Oh,
you know what I'm
100%.
talking about, right?
Yep.
Like they afford the opportunity to the command to fix it. Nah, dog. We ain't bought off by the government, dog. Like this is like Ramos Capital and Noble Fitness. Like this is it. We can come in here like we can say whatever the hell we want.
Yeah.
Whether we're wrong or right, which sometimes we are wrong or not 100% accurate. That's okay to throw out there.
I think that's what creates balance of a show is you shouldn't have an echo chamber or you don't have a discussion.
Yeah.
I mean, that's common sense. I mean, if you have a difference
and sometimes
of opinion,
you get it wrong.
Yeah. Sometimes you're going to have difference of opinions on shows. And I think that's what makes the podcast popular. It's because there's going to be people who relate and there's going to be people who don't relate.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just feel like the one thing that I don't like about the military is that if a standard is a standard, then it needs to be held across the board.
Yeah.
When I was at 1st Radio Battalion, I had a fat major, okay? And that fat major was over in charge of the S3, okay? So that means that...
Where they do height and weights.
Now watch this. He's in charge of S3, right? Those Marines are underneath him, right? And Marines are getting out and he's writing, you know, the adverse fit reps and letting these Marines get out and having them on BCP, and he's not within height and weight standards. If it's going to be a standard, an officer standard, enlisted standard, it should be the same across the board, and nobody should be safe.
I agree with you. Guys, we've been talking for about more than an hour now. How long have we been talking about? An hour and 13 minutes now. You know, we talked a little bit about everything, but we like to bring in, you know, Tony every so often, specifically when we haven't had a veteran that can say, you know, things how they need to be said sometimes. You know, like we've had a lot of active duty guests. We've been blessed that a lot of people have been booking the podcast and accepting to come into the podcast that are active duty. You know, sometimes we need to have these conversations, specifically, you know, with everything that's going on. So, guys, I think we're going to cut it off here. Make sure that you guys like, follow, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell so that way you guys get notified with all of the podcasts that are going to be coming out next, okay? Make sure that you guys go to Ramos_Capital. Find me over there. Send me a DM if you have any guests that you would like to see, any questions that you would like to see, and then I will answer your DMs there. Go to the link in my bio, guys. Make sure, understand this. Ramos Capital is the only, well, aside obviously from Noble Fitness, are the only sponsors of this podcast, okay? So make sure that you come out there, show us some love, support our veteran-owned businesses. And Anthony, where can people reach out to you at?
You can reach me at TonyGlennII.com. And then also, guys, myself, Bruno, Albert, we're going to be doing VA loan master classes here in the office with us as educating. So if you want to get your home, make sure you hit up Albert, and we'll be doing these every month forward. So I look forward to that. But TonyGlennII.com is where you can find me. That's where all my socials are located at.
Barry, where can people reach out to you?
You guys know where to hit me up at Instagram, @Bull5277, TikTok, @Bull52772. Click the link in my bio, schedule a call. The call is free. The change will last your lifetime.
Let's go. I'll see you guys in the next one.